some spiritual stuff that's happening. We don't know. The universe knows. And let the Facebook load. Something meeting is now streaming live.
On Facebook.
Yes, is it? It just shows. Sorry, something went wrong. We're working on getting this. So you can see it live.
It says meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. I don't know. Maybe I got a message. Usually we get a message, right? Like Shikha is live.
Yes, we are on live. Yeah, we are live. I can see it on my phone here. All right. So this time we will make sure Karteekka is protected from any tech issues and we get through this very clearly. She was the 7th mom and now we're on the 70th mom. So a lot of moms have come between Karteekka's interview and the 70th mom is coming up tomorrow. Again, a brilliant mom. And just to reintroduce Karteekka, she's a really amazing lawyer, but more than that, an amazing human being, working parallelly to help so many women. And I don't want to say too much. I usually don't introduce mothers because I always say moms who live their story tells their story the best. But Karteekka just is doing a lot of special work, so I wanted to put in that word. And if I'm going to keep myself mute because my cough might start, so you can go ahead, Karteekka, and keep talking, and I will respond.
Hi, thank you very much, Shikha, for first of all for taking time out to redo this. I know you're very busy. You have 2 rounds of interview going on every day on a daily basis. Plus, you're also talking to new moms, on other times. So I can understand the amount of time and patience you need. So thank you very much. To introduce myself, yes, you rightly said I'm a lawyer. Now, to be honest, I started off as a corporate commercial lawyer with my corporate commercial practice, but going along my practice, I realized that yes, I want to answer questions where people are stuck in certain situations, and they cannot sometimes afford to hire lawyers. I realized that I can help those people with the limited knowledge that I have, and I started doing it. And from one person to another, because our work is such that it spreads by word of mouth. So from the first person that I helped, the second person, then the third person. And now, yes, randomly, sometimes on Facebook, somebody puts my name and says, maybe you can speak with Karteekka, she can probably help you. So I help people if they're looking for, especially women in a jurisdiction like UAE, if they're looking for help in matters like succession, when their husbands or their fathers or brothers pass away, with wealth, custody of their children. I help them in sorting their divorce issues, their child custody issues. I also help people answering general questions of succession, because of course succession in UAE and planning is very important, but it is very expensive to hire a lawyer as well. So I do help a lot of people make their succession documents. And as we work, I mean, the way we work is we have different fee structures for different kind of people, because I believe that everybody deserves to plan their succession. It's not necessary for them to be really wealthy, because they also have children. They also have one bank account where they have some amount of wealth. They also need to plan and plan it so that they can leave it properly to their children and their heirs. So I do help these people. And now, yes, as I said, that from one person to another, it has now become a kind of a chain. So now people come to me, and mostly I've realized and I've seen that it's a lot of women that I'm helping now with their divorce matters. Some are friends, some are friends, some are clients, wives, some are just random references.
Some are friends, some are... Sorry, there was an echo. Facebook just started.
Echo, right. I could hear that. Don't worry. All okay now? Yeah. So I'm helping these women just sort their divorce issues, divorce matters there. And I usually advise them and give them a very different advice than most of the lawyers. I usually tell them to not expect maintenance from their ex-husbands. I know a lot of women don't like that advice. A lot of women do not like it. They don't even call me back after the first call, but 80-85% call me back maybe a month later or 2 months later, and they say, yes, you were right. Probably I have to sort my own finances. I have to sort my own work, and I have to decide how to be independent and not be dependent on my ex-husband. So this is my way of working. I also make sure that when it comes to children, if the custody is usually joint, and the children suffer the least in this whole process, so I make sure that the divorce is as amicable as possible, because a contested divorce, as lawyers, we can make more money, but I really do not prefer doing practice that way. I prefer to make it as peaceful, as mutual, as amicable as possible, so that the children who are involved in the process do not get scarred in the way, because it can get really difficult for the children to really go through that whole separation process. So yes, and then yes, I also advise them to ensure that the children's rights are protected, how and where they can, approach the authorities. This
Wow.
is work in a nutshell.
Wow, that's something new. I know you for some time now, Kartika, and that's amazing. Literally like a coach to your clients, helping them, kind of, you know, helping the whole process in a way that it's an overall win-win for children. It's amazing. That's I've heard for the first time. And even the fact that you do not encourage women to ask for maintenance. And are you working with? So what's the journey like? So you have you studied in India? I know that there
I
like that journey is very important because you went there, then UAE, and then Switzerland, and then
Yes,
something and all that. Let's hear that. That's also quite
very, very, very complicated. So I, of course, started off as an India lawyer. I studied in India. My father's a lawyer. My sister's a lawyer. A lot of people in my family are lawyers.
right.
1.5 year into my practice, of course, I was married by then. My husband had a job offer from Dubai. He said, let's move. Now, for me, as a young lawyer, I had two options at that point. As a young lawyer, plus into a new marriage, which you're trying hard to anyway, you're trying hard, on a lot of levels when you're new in your marriage, right, in your relationship. So I had two options, whether to stay back and concentrate on my career, or to go with him, because I was such a young lawyer. I could either adapt Indian laws, or I could just, become a UAE lawyer completely. So I decided the other way. I followed him.
Yeah.
I followed him, and UAE was a different jurisdiction, completely different. India is common law based, which is like where judges and judges make law, where you can give reference of past judgments. It's a different system, completely different system, closer to British system. And UAE is a Islamic and civil jurisdiction. I had to start from the scratch. I started working with someone who my ex-boss had introduced me to. I started that as my first job. Then one of the clients asked me to handle their in-house department. I worked with them for many years, actually, many, many years. Then I finally moved to a trading company where I was managing about 6 offices worldwide. And I used to travel like, I used to travel nonstop. So I would be ready with a visa stamped on my passport, and the Bombay office would call me, ticket is booked for tonight, so just get ready. I would go back. My nanny had instructions, and my son was really, really young that time, 2 year old. And my bag was always packed. So basically, I was just traveling and working, looking after into new transactions, new jurisdictions. And this was the time, a tough time, of course, because my son, I would land and my husband would call, so Anna is running high temperature, because he could not talk, and that was his way of uh, you know displaying or whatever, showing his separation anxiety. But yes, I continued, and my husband was very supportive in all this. So he would tell me, don't quit, don't break, because this is the time. If you quit now, you will regret it later. And I continued. I had a tough time, but yes, I continued. I would come back on the weekend, go back to Switzerland or Moscow or wherever I was traveling to, and then come back again on the weekend with him. When he was 4 year old, we had a very, 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 very bad experience with one of the nannies who was actually mistreating and ill-treating my child in my absence. And unfortunately, my son never told me, for some reason. He was just 4, maybe he was scared or something. She stayed with us only 2 months, and I found out about it from someone else, a neighbor, basically, who told me that probably she's not the right nanny for your child. That was a life-changing moment for me, because I was literally at crossroads. I really had no clue what to do, whether to quit my job to be with my child, or to move forward. I decided to move forward. Nanny, of course, she left herself. I found a very beautiful, very good nanny after that. And I decided to quit my job and came into private practice. Of course, a lot of people did tell me at that point, this was your time, this was your decision. You could have decided to not neglect your child and be with him full time, but you again decided to neglect him and continue with a job. You've already had a bad experience with a nanny like this, so you should have been a good mother. I heard a lot of things from close friends, from people who, my colleagues, a lot of people, but I continued. I quit my job and I went into private practice. So I would work half a day from my office and come back when my son would be back from school, and work from home. So this was my routine. And this was the time when I really started also working and looking at the other side of my practice, which is now I'm doing extensively with my corporate commercial practice. And then 2017, my husband moved to Switzerland, and he gave me again an option. You want to come with me or you want to stay here? But my work was like on an autopilot mode. So of course we decided, he told me, whenever you're ready, you come. So 2017, and 3.5 years later, we decided we will move here. Timing worked perfectly because 2019 December we moved here, and the world went into lockdown. 2020, and we were all under the same roof in one continent, one city, one country. Otherwise, we would all be separated and locked away in different continents.
Right.
And then, yes, I started my practice in Switzerland, and now, added to the work that I was already doing, I'm also doing a lot of diversity, equity, and inclusion work, which is, of course, I'm working on a very beautiful project in my son's school where we are training children and teachers and parents on diversity, equity, and inclusion practices. So we are training them how to accept various differences, not just of race and culture, but also of different learning abilities, of different family structures, where, because Switzerland just recently passed a law where now they have allowed gay marriages, so they're legal. And so we will soon have children coming from families with two moms, two dads. So children should be accepting to such differences. And parents, more than children, I think parents should be more accepting to these. So we are developing the curriculum. We are developing a full program for this. I also help organizations. I also help people if they have issues with their work environment, if they are facing harassment, if they are facing any issues in the organization. So this is, yes, another added human rights practice. And yes, so my work is now multi-jurisdictional. I travel a lot again between Dubai and Switzerland, but it's manageable. My son goes with me when he has his school off. He comes along with me, and he attends work meetings with me. He's a part of my work meetings whenever there is like, of course, a school holiday or something, and I'm managing that way. Like, I hope, or I don't know whether I am, but I hope I'm trying to or get a balance, between my work and personal life. So yes,
Jenny
this
is
is
here.
how.
They would be happy to hear that she's an LGBTQ activist. So she would be very happy to hear that you're doing a program like this to sensitize children about it, because she
Yes.
is also very actively working in that space in her country. So Jay would be. Jenny is here. Jenny, I'm seeing you after a long time. How are you? And Vilma is here as well.
Hi
Um,
everyone.
I must say that I'm so proud of you. More like a sister, that my God, how much have you taken on? And that's the whole thing of this whole mother thing, that sometimes we're making so much difference in the world, and then we keep getting torn between the child and the judgments, and the bigger thing that we're doing for the world, all that happening. Like, I'm sure the stories must be pulling you and saying that I can help her, I can help her, I can sort this out, I can do this, I can do that. And between that and being torn and being judged, it's I think all mothers, everybody gets through this. And I do totally admire you that you figured out the balance. And it's not a hope. I'm sure the amount of good that you're doing, you figured it out with your child as well. So there's no hope. You're doing absolutely the right thing. And this is a very safe place to celebrate something like this, because you're just another shade of mom. And nobody should be called I'm called an obsessive mom sometimes. I was, not now, but yes, definitely. I've been called an obsessive mom. You can be called a workaholic mom. Somebody can be called some mom. Somebody can be called some mom. But we're just moms, and with different shades. And that's what we're celebrating in this book through self portrait, understanding the whole journey. And I totally love the fact that what you said, that I encourage them to take charge of their finances. And I do not say, okay, just like be there dependent on the maintenance. And also the fact that you want it to be peacefully done. This is incredible work, Kartika. Really incredible work. And I'm sure it's been quite a journey, because the stuff that you're dealing with, like as a lawyer, there can be a lot going on.
It's stressful. It is stressful, yes.
You just
So
said it
there
in
are
one line,
days.
but I'm sure living each story is quite a stressful.
Yes, but it's so fulfilling, because when I meet my clients the first time, the from the first call, you know, until the time when we finish the case, right? Some succession matters also, where I mean, you'll be shocked to hear that in UAE, basically because they're still following a very Islamic succession structure. Although now there have been few changes in the law recently, for at least non-Muslim expatriates. But in UAE, if a man passes away and if he only has directly descending no male, like if only daughters, then his entire family and siblings become a part of his estate, and the wife has to go through a lot of struggle to sort even the custody of her children. So some judges would even not give her the custody. They would choose the husband's parents or husband's brother as a guardian for children. So it's a tough battle. And I remember very clearly that for a very young client of ours, many years back, she had a 1.5-year-old child. Her mother-in-law did not sign the relinquishment deed, which is like we wanted her to relinquish everything in the daughters-in-law favor, so that she could get some money for her child's upbringing, and or to start her own work. The mother-in-law did not give her signature for 1.5 year. and and no joke, she was under so much stress. Her bank account was frozen. She had only an ATM card. That time the limit to pull out from the ATM was like 5,000 dirhams on a daily basis. We kept holding the death certificate, because the moment that certificate would be given to the banks, it would be more restrictions and more embargoes. So she went through hell for 1.5 year. Finally, her mother-in-law agreed because of some pressure from other friends or someone, and she did give her signature. But these are so from the time when I meet my clients on day one to the time when everything is sorted and ironed out, there's a sea difference between these women. Some women come to me really weak, like they're crying. They call me and they cry. They talk to me. Some clients will tell me, I'm talking to you as not as my lawyer, but as my elder sister. So can I share this with you? Can I tell you something? And they call and they cry. My colleague cannot take this. I am the one to take those calls. So I am the one to answer those calls. He says, I can't take this pressure. For me, it's a bit too much to get involved in somebody's life. But I'm the one who would listen to them. I said, okay. I would always tell them, yes, you can cry, you can share whatever you want to. And then, yes, once they have that support, then they become stronger and stronger with each day. Then they come to me and they give me their ideas. Yes, now I want to do this, Kartika, what do you think? So it's very fulfilling when I see them getting to a different stage from where
So beautiful.
they were when they first came to me.
Yeah, your mom is here. Simaji, aren't you proud of your daughter? She's here and she's meeting you soon. I came to know that she is meeting you soon after 2 years. They're uniting. So
Yeah.
just telling the audience here that both mother and daughters are inspirational. Even the mom is there in our book, uh, and she's there. She's inspirational as well. And Kartika is definitely Kartika. I can talk to you for hours on what, like, because it, like, my heart anyway goes to all these issues. And like, I can talk to you for hours. I can, this interview can go on for hours, because I'm already done 70 interviews and I just keep shaking my head and I just keep admiring the way women show up, the way moms show up, the way they stand up, the way, these are real lives. These are real lives. I look at that book as like real pages with living pages. When I look at that book, I think they're like real pages. I feel that that's my vision. That when it opens up, people can feel the stories, and people can see, wow, these are living moms, some part of the world, going through this but still shining, and that's excellent, and really, 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 and yes, good morning, Melanie. Jenny's here. Seemaji. I mean, you are listening to your daughter. It's amazing. Um, so well, that's what I'm saying. I can talk to you. I have like 100 questions going on, but we have our platform, and I will keep bringing you on to tell more mothers that it's not that all like there would not be any support. There are people like you who will give support from all sides emotionally. So they should start believing if they need support, they will find people like you. So that's incredible. And anyway, you've been in this movement of self portrait since the beginning. I don't even know how you came in. I don't know how you were
I
recommended.
think from the first group that you created for
Yeah,
photography,
that's still
like
there. I'm going to start going back to the group. I don't have time right now. But yeah, I don't know how you came in and how we found each other. But you also
Anchal,
Achal Tandon.
Anchal Khanna introduced me to the
Achal
group.
Tandon. Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out the whole thing. But
Yes,
you were instantly with the whole idea of self-portrait. You
yes.
resonated with it, and then you had put out these beautiful portraits, and I totally love them. So you've seen this whole thing unfold. Sometimes dropping the interview, sometimes watching it. From the fact that it was just about self-portrait, when I was talking about self-portrait, to here when I'm talking about a mother pulse. I don't know whether recently you've been able to see some interviews when I'm talking about the mother pulse and what we've discovered. So for you, how are you viewing this now? And what's that process like? What made you so excited about self-portrait? Because you were definitely you and your mom was also one of the, moms who were very
Yes,
excited. Yeah.
right. I'll be honest. Initially, of course, because when you started, it was sheer excitement of being able to click my own pictures with however whatever I'm wearing in my real self, right? Like as how I look, right? So that was actually just sheer excitement of being able to do that, which pulled me to that group. Then you said that I will be probably taking 100 moms, and then okay, fine, we were just moving ahead, and then you asked me the first thing that I want to introduce your mom as my fifth champion or fourth champion, something you asked me on Messenger. I said, yeah, please, by all means, because she'll be really happy, because she is someone who's,
Looking for
yes. And then we had a chat when I was traveling to Dubai from my hotel room. You spoke to me, I think you spoke to me about my mom, and that's when you found out about my work, and then you said, can I also include you as a part of it? I said, yeah, please. I mean, I love the whole thing, I love the idea. As you have grown, and I'm seeing from one mom to the other to the other, the best part of your book, these are all ordinary mothers, our next door neighbors, who the world did not know about, because we have seen all the famous faces all over the books and magazines, but nobody really talks about other people who are not so well known but still are doing great work. This is what probably the beauty of your book. So many mothers who I had no idea about were living in different parts of the world, doing great, doing amazing, with such amazing stories, have now come together because of your book. And it's like a small community where we all are like friends. I know that group is like probably one of the most active groups on Facebook that I have. It's 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 wonderful to be in touch with all of these, and really, I mean, that is what I feel, that I mean, everybody talks to famous people, famous faces, like people who are well known, celebrities, they're all doing good and they're all getting that recognition, but nobody is really giving recognition to other people as well who are doing good and great work in their lives. So which is what I think.
yeah, it's brilliant that you pointed that because that's how I started. And if that counts, we ended up having some celebrity moms as well who still came in as ordinary moms because we were not celebrating
Correct.
their status. I think they all are merged in here, but still very very
Yeah.
well known in their fields. Like the musician we had yesterday, she's incredibly
Yes.
known in India. She and her husband are like one of the top musicians, classical musicians of this country.
I
Um,
saw actually. Even her son, Saskia's son,
and yes,
is a
so
yes.
they are like one of the top musicians. We have a Zumba ambassador, Sucheta Pal, who's got a great following in India. But all of them when they came in, we have Maya here, who's an incredible coach and great following and a lot of love for her. So we have, the range coming from mothers who've really made it on the top and mothers who've just started, and everybody in between. But nobody knows anything because all we spoke about was what are you like a mom? How are you like a mom? What about your inhibitions as self portraits? How do we bring yourself up? So glad you brought that because we started it like that and we have moved still with that pulse that we are not talking about anything else but the fact, journey as a mom, how things have turned up, and every mother poured in her journey as a mom, and of course her own journey as well. So another thing that we're trying to do here is that yes, our children are very important. We always give them the most important thing, but we're also trying to extract the mother out from that relationship and make her shine in the book. Because a lot of times new mothers, they're coming and talking to me and they're like, can I talk about my children? I said, you can talk about anything, but you have to still talk about yourself. You have to
Yes.
celebrate yourself as a mom. You have to celebrate and bring that story so that there's another mom. Because we are all sitting here not only to celebrate ourselves but creating an opportunity for many many mothers who can be gifted this book when she does not have any hope. Like, if you find a mother tomorrow who feels that she can't achieve, you can gift her this book and say, look at these 100 moms and listen to their stories and see their
Absolutely.
stories and how they're showing up. And so that's where I'm reaching, that this book has to become that book where everybody can look at Kartika and say, Kartika is like, you can fight for yourself. She's fighting for hundreds of moms, and from an emotional level. So, so that's where it's going. And then it's incredible that you've been around, and definitely, in spite of your busy schedule, I must say that you've been dropping in the comments and supporting. You've been very,
Yeah,
very,
I try my best to whenever I
no
can.
pressure, but very, very courteous about the whole thing. Kara is here. So Kara, here meet Kartika. She was another mom who had a technical glitch, and we made it with her. Kara and you both had technical problems, but we made it to create this thing. So you're talking about. So are you only dealing with divorces? Are you only dealing with
No,
uh, so
no.
so let's talk about that. Like because you just mentioned that you were dealing with more divorces and etc. So what's the spectrum that you're dealing with, or are you just dealing with women and children?
No, no, no. My practice is very diverse. So one side of my practice is corporate commercial side, which gives me more money to survive. Uh, and the other side is, of course, the activist side of me, where I help women with their divorces, succession, child custody, child rights. I help women fighting harassment at workplace.
In UAE
Yes.
or even in Switzerland?
Now in Switzerland, we are doing the diversity, equity, inclusion work as well here. And yes, I help organizations formulate their policies for DNI, which is again diversity and inclusion, because now with all the movements like Black Lives Matter and all around the world, organizations have become aware of the fact that yes, it is more important to have an inclusive workplace if they want to succeed. And studies have proven anyway that the more inclusive an organization is, the chances of their success are always higher. So now more and more businesses are looking for such experts and such policies for their organization. So I do help them as well. I teach, of course, children. As I said, that I'm working with my son's school as well, how to accept these differences. And the beauty of both Switzerland and Dubai is that in both the places, especially Geneva and Dubai, I should say these two cities, Geneva and Dubai, hundreds of nationalities live together in the same place. So Geneva, of course, because of all the missions and all the embassies coming together here. So UN has almost every head office is here, WHO, WIPO, then all the countries' missions are here. So there are so many. Then CERN is here. So a lot of scientists are working, from India, Asia, other parts of the world. So it's such a beautiful culmination of different nationalities that international schools as well as public schools have different kind of children coming from all over the world. So it's important, and same as UAE, where everyone from the world, like probably everyone, every country would probably be represented by one person in Dubai. I'm 100% sure. So it's a very multicultural environment where it is even more important. It becomes even more important for people to be sensitive to other people's culture, needs, requirements, and not hold unconscious biases. So this is something that I'm actively working on. And yes, workplace harassment is another issue that I'm working on. Mostly it is women, but it is also men who face harassment. It's a myth, probably, that only women face harassment, but sometimes it is also men who face racial harassment, or isolation and other kinds of issues in their workplace. So yes, these are some kind of some projects that I do besides my corporate, commercial, and succession practice that I do to earn money.
There's a question, there have been multiple questions coming to me, but there's one question definitely coming to me. And of course, I'm seeing the angle of a mom. There's this mom who's going out or standing up for so many people, and she comes back home. What's the rule that there's a cutoff rule that I don't like? Now this is my child zone. This is my mom child zone. Have you created any of that? That I'm just inquisitive because I'm sure it takes you down, and you must be sometimes coming so heavily coming back home. And how do you deal with from that world to a gentle world of your son, a hug coming when you come back and speak to him. So, like, how do
Oh, I, I think, my mom always says that you're a Gemini and you really have to, and my husband also says that I have two faces. So when I'm working, I'm under so much stress. And sometimes, yes, that stress does stay with me. But when I'm with my son, both of us are Marvel fans. So we watch all the Marvel movies together. We collect those, I don't know if you know about those Funko Pops. So both of us are, I'm a Doctor Strange fan. So he got me just 2 days back. He went for an outing with his friend, and he said, "Mom," he called me, "Mom, there's a Funko Pop of Doctor Strange. Do you want it?" I said, "Yes, I want it." So he bought it for me.
in
So this,
Northeast India, because Funko Pops are already going crazy in my house, but they're only butterflies and unicorns right now.
oh
If you
yeah,
get
because your children are still,
no, no,
yes.
no, no. They are absolutely Marvel fans, but they don't know it's not reached India yet. So I don't even want to let them because I'll be just surrounded by that for sure. And
I
yeah,
know. And so,
how did
so
your
yeah,
son
we
can
love.
have 10? Is he 10? Your son is 10 years
No,
old?
he's turning 13 in January, so he's almost a teenager. So I'm just counting days when he starts telling me, "Mom, can you please go out of my room? I'm with my friends." So still, he's very attached to me, and I try and spend, because see, my entrepreneurial journey actually, Shikha, honestly started when I had that bad experience with two nannies. Actually, not one but two nannies. The other one I'd never shared. Um, uh, so my purpose was to continue my work and be with him. So I really always try to strike balance between the two. I think I'm kind of succeeding. He's turning into a beautiful human being. At least I like to believe so. He's sensitive, of the fact that yes, mom is working. She has a meeting. She's on a call. So when she finishes, she will definitely come back to me and ask me what I need. If he comes to me and sees me on a call, then he knows, and he shows me a thumb and I say, "Okay, mom, thumbs up. I'm going. I'll come back." So he's learning, and tomorrow, I know, with all this whatever he's seeing around his family, I think tomorrow, when I'm sure he will have someone in his life, so he will also be sensitive to that woman's needs, that yes, she also may want to have a career of her own. She also has her own job, her own identity.
To show that
So
path, to show that path, and you're absolutely beautifully showing it. But not only that, like what I love about you is that you have created so much impact in spite of wanting your career, in spite of choosing that. The way you approach it is so beautiful. The way you just said that you approach divorce, or the way the fact that just make it peaceful, to listen to a mom if some mom is coming, because I know this could be very, very, I mean, it's very painful to listen from a lawyers and then stand up, to detach, to stand up for them, to make them strong so that they don't give up, and then reaching that finally you've achieved and given the rights that that mother has, or in inclusion or wherever. So great job, Kartika, and I love the way you're showing up for many, many women. And I know you do a lot of voluntary work as well, in terms of
Yes.
getting rights to many, many women who can't afford it. And you have told me about that. So really, really, I mean, I'm sure your son is going to be very proud of you. So whatever doubts that you have, that you started saying that I hope, I wish, I hope, all that is just
Mm.
gone. I'm sure. And when he sees you being honored in a book as a mom, that would be a great gift given to him for sure, because you definitely deserve that honor. And
Thank you so
I
much.
want to ask Kartika what her dream is, so that we can wrap up the interview and we can move further um, to the next part, your self portrait.
You know, I some people call me feminist. A lot of people call me feminist. Fine, I'm okay with that title. I don't mind that, because I really want, and when you say what your dream is, my dream is when there is, men and women are on equal footing in all respects. I want women also to know that they are not just meant to marry a successful man. They are meant to make their own identity, to carve their own identity, as well as, of course, be a mother, because that is a beautiful gift, that is only given to us. A man doesn't have that, right? A man has to know that, yes, he's not just there to suppress women or just boss around women, because
That's why you're called a feminist, because you you just use very
maybe
you just use very gentle words for women, and then here you went men about suppressing.
maybe
That's a
so
lawyer.
my idea is both should know and understand that both have to carve out their own identity and support each other, right? That's what, my dream is, that maybe we will have a world where no woman is going to call me and ask me, Kartika, what is my maintenance now? I'm getting divorced. I don't want that question coming up from women, really. And I don't want from a man also saying, I don't want my children to go away to my wife. I can be also an equally good father, because there's always a presumption that a father will never be as good a parent as a mother is, right?
I've been raised by a beautiful father. I'm obsessed with my father, and my father's. I'm turning 40 in 3 months, and I'm still my dad's little girl. And I call him and I speak to him just like I used to speak to him when I was 3 years old. So definitely there's all the range. But I like the fact that you started the conversation saying, people call me feminist. I don't know. It's okay, because denying it, but I love the way the statement came out. And of course, this place, Kartika, this place, this community that I'm creating is the community, not to judge anybody, not to say this is okay, this is not okay, because this is just different shades of mothers, and period. That's it.
Yeah.
There is nothing else. They are different shades, and all these different shades is what this world needs, deserves, and they're shining irrespective of whatever shade they are. So you're doing incredible work, and I mean, I'm really seeing your journey, and like I would be, because now you're in the same vessel that I'm creating. I would love to see your journey unfold in the future, because I feel there's a lot of great things are going to happen through you and with you and for you, and I totally wish that for you, Kartika. And
Thank
we
you so
have
much, Tika.
we have really some incredible moms here, and people are telling me that, like, are you going to? I have a list of like everyday recommendations of 7 to 8 to 10, and I'm sitting and I'm like, which mom? Because now only 30 spaces are left, right? Only 30
Yes.
spaces are left, and I'm just like, okay, now I need to get like more. That's why I'm trying to now get all kinds of more shades in. Just how I'm painting the book, so I'm like, let me get more shades in. So I'm looking at now
Right.
different shades of moms that I've not brought. So that's where my lookout is. But I am telling everybody, there's no more volumes coming. These are the 100 moms. These are the 100 moms I will make sure reach the point where they inspire, and I know each one of them is already inspiring, and they will go ahead and inspire many, many mothers coming out from a community which might has its own values and its own dreams of eventually and become one. And I didn't get a chance to speak to you about the mother pulse, but you will discover it very well about the mother pulse that I've been talking recently about. But many things are going to happen, so welcome. And we
Thank
adore
you
your
so much.
shade of mom as well. And we adore your mom, who's another shade of mom as well. So
Yes.
please send us pictures when both of you unite after two
I
years.
will, I wanted to share before you end a very funny incident from my childhood, since she's also tuned in. And I remember this clearly. I have a very distinct memory of this. So she always wanted both of us to be very independent, both the sisters. So she would always ask me, and I'm sure she's laughing now. She would always ask me, so what do you want to become when you grow up? And I must have been really young. So I don't know why she would ask me, but she would always ask me, so what do you want to become, when you grow up? I said, I just want to become a woman. And she would be mad at that. She'd say, oh my God, what if she only becomes a woman? What if she's only going to do that? And we still have this joke in the family that, mom, it's okay to become a woman. But yeah, being a woman comes with like so many other things, that we all are now, that your
She
daughters are today.
is laughing in the comments. She is laughing in the comments. Yes, and this is incredible, and I'm really wrapping up with a very feeling of a lot of warmth here because I know what it would be to listen to that story. I've just been listening to stories, Kartika. That's what I've been doing. I've been listening to stories. You are going way ahead and also helping many stories that are totally, lost and they don't have that support, and you're going ahead and doing it. And I know what's happening to me when I'm going on a roller coaster, listening to, consuming, living those stories, and now creating this book. So I absolutely know how much courage it takes for you to not only stand up for those stories, but to live with them and take them to their destination. Brilliant work. Brilliant work.
Thank you so much, Shikha. Thank you for making me a part of this. It's a beautiful group. I'm honored actually to be, among all these 70 moms so
Sorry,
far.
sorry,
And
Kartik.
and you're doing great. Seriously, it was a very good thought, which started off probably, and then you just gave it a different turn. So
I still think
it's a very difficult thing. It's a very difficult thing what you're doing right now.
yes, it's just
Yeah.
trying to create a big hug, as Laurette says, that when she looks at this whole event unfold, this whole book happening, she sees a very big hug. And we've not completed it, but 100 moms, hugging across. And recently I was just like, I just got this idea that I need to make the world map and start coloring from where all I have found the moms and
Yes.
see the whole thing in different shades again, as I say, the map, and then different shades of mums from different.
Yeah.
So that's my activity for myself because I would love to see what all we've covered, which all continent we've covered. I think it's incredible. Um, Big thing is happening. So
You
we've
need a lot of power. Wish you more power.
thank you,
And
thank you so much, and wishing you all the very best. And I know
thank you
many
so much.
helps through you. So let's go off live, and thank you everybody for being here and joining us. Many moms will join later, but okay. So now, like we've redone the interview and done it so beautifully. It's amazing. This incident is always in my memories. Is what your mom is saying.
Oh yeah, she's saying. Yeah, we often talk about it actually.
You're making sure that it's in her memory. Then you're making sure that it's instilled in her memory what she said. So let's stop live. See you guys soon.